Welcome to Shut Up Sharon. I hope today that something that's said in this space will bless you. And if it pisses you off, feel free to say shut up. Something happened to me the other day that made me ruminate and think and ponder and process the idea of emotion and the way that it's expressed. This isn't the first time in my life that this has had to happen. In fact, Shut Up Sharon as a moniker is part of it. So I'll tell you what happened. I had a gentleman tell me, because I raised my voice in passion and energy, I'm not going to respect you. I'm not going to listen to you. You know, your anger is really going to turn me off. I wasn't angry in that moment. I was firm. I was confident. I was passionate about what I was saying. But angry? No. But you see, we've been taught that anger manifests as a raised voice. We've been taught that anger only manifests as a raised heart rate. We've been taught that if you speak up and you speak out, you're angry. It's why we, as especially suburbanites, can sit in our homes and say that these protests, they aren't peaceful. And I'm not talking about the violence that's happening when I'm in looting and physical violence. But the reason that a lot of that is happening is because we've been trained as human beings to believe that a raised voice is violence, or that a raised voice is somehow an offensive move. It's not. It's not. It's not. A raised voice isn't necessarily anger. It's emotion. It's passion. And oftentimes as a woman, when I raise that voice, I get labeled as, oh, you're just another angry woman. No. Well, sometimes, right? We have been taught growing up that we as women are to keep our voice in hushed tones, that we should just stay in this place where we can quietly and calmly express. And sometimes we've just been told to shut up or embrace the silence. But you see, it's not just women who've been taught this, men have been taught this too. We have all been taught that heated emotion means anger. That as long as we're silent or quiet, anger doesn't exist. Well, anger existed in silence as Officer Chiffon, or however you say his name, used his knee to suffocate the life out of George Floyd. Anger existed in silence as the officers standing by watching held their stiff bodies and hand on their weapon, barking orders with the power of their badge. Anger doesn't go away because we don't speak it. It just manifests in a different way. So I can fully understand why we see riots in the street, because people have voices have been taken away. And when they try to use their voice, they're met with violence. They're met with shut up. They're met with be quiet. A friend of mine today, we were processing through this and talking about it, and he said, you know, like, peaceful marriage isn't a silent one. And a silent marriage is not a peaceful one. Silence does not equal peace. Peace does not equal silence. When we peacefully protest, we raise our voices, absolutely. But it doesn't mean violence. Peace does not equal silence. And our voices need to be heard. The voices of the oppressed need to be heard. And unfortunately, because we have somehow began to believe or had it rooted into us that silence equals peace. Think about it. We go, I just need silence. I just need to find my peace. And so we participate in things like yoga or silent meditation. And we label that as peace. It is. But peace is also found in the clanging voices of community. Peace is also found in the booming music of a club. Peace does not necessarily equal silence. And silence does not equal peace. Anger, just because we keep it silent, just because we push it back, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Anger is an emotion that must be expressed. We must be free to express it in ways that are healthy and just. And that requires that we use our voice. That requires that we scream out and that we wail. Anger must find a way out. Maybe it's found as our fists hit a punching bag, but it should never be found as our fists hit another person. Anger has to find its way out, and maybe it makes its way out in a passionate declaration, and maybe it makes its way out through deep meditative breathing. But anger has to come out, and do not be mistaken. Anger will always come out. Always. Anger, silent anger, is fearful anger. And silent anger kills. Silent anger is somehow given a power that feels it's okay to squeeze the life out of someone else. It is silent anger that does the most harm. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to be expressive. It is okay to be passionate. It is okay to raise your voice, to express what you're feeling. And we have to stop. We have to stop saying that people who raise their voice in a yell or a louder tone are therefore angry and not worthy of respect. It has to stop. We have to listen to one another. And emotions express themselves in different ways all the time. We need to find the healthy ways to express that, ways that don't induce more harm upon people. Peaceful protests, they get loud, but they don't have to get violent. But violence breeds violence. And when a loud, peaceful protest is hit with violent offense, violence happens. Thanks for tuning in today. If you appreciated what I said, please leave a comment, give me a subscribe. If you want to tell me to shut up, feel free. It won't be the first time.